Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how I incorporate God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, into my manifesting practices. So this was a request, and thank you so much for requesting it. And I am sorry it's taken so long to do this video, but I really wanted to do it justice just because it is something that's very close to my heart and is very important to me. So I did really want to make sure that I did this thoroughly and did it justice. So I'll start with explaining how I incorporate God into my manifesting process, and then I'll explain what God actually is to me. So to me, manifesting and the ways that we manifest is actually a request. It's just a request done in the way that the universe or God understands. Okay, so when we think about asking for something, when we think about requesting something, what immediately comes to your mind is just straight up asking for something. So just saying like, I want this, give this to me, you know? So that's what comes to your mind when you think about requesting something or asking for it. But to the universe or to God, requesting or asking for something is actually living in the state of already having that thing. Now, it's very interesting because the Bible actually talks about this. You've probably heard that the Bible does say, believe and ye shall receive, okay? So the Bible does talk about this. The Bible actually talks about manifesting. Prayer is actually a manifestation. Prayer is actually requesting for something, but done in the correct way that the universe or God understands. So it's not straight up asking for something, it's living in the state of already having that thing, believing in that thing, okay? And this is what manifesting is. So to me, this is how I actually incorporate God into my manifesting processes. I see always my manifesting as a request, simply a request done the correct way. I understand that if I sit there crying that I don't have something and saying to the universe or to God, please just give me this thing, I really want it, I don't have it, I understand that the universe or God is going to take that as me saying, I want more of this lack, because obviously you're believing that you don't have that thing if you're sat there crying that you don't have it. And even the Bible says, believe and you will receive. So if you're sat there crying that you don't have something, you're believing you don't have that thing, and that's what you will receive. Okay? So manifesting, any manifestation process, whether it's scripting or visualizing or affirmations, it is a request. It is asking, it's just done the correct way. Okay? So that is how I incorporate God into my manifesting. Now, what God actually is to me is basically God is the embodiment of all that is good in this world. And this ties in with manifesting because, as you know, as we speak about on this channel, everything manifests, energy manifests, okay? So, and we live in a world of opposites, we do. You know, we live in a world of hot and cold, black and white, night and day, light and dark. We live in a world of opposites, man and woman, you know? And so everything has a manifestation, okay? Both sides of the spectrum manifest in various ways. Now, to me, this being that I've personally connected with is the embodiment, kind of like the origin of all that is good in this world. Now, you're probably wondering, does that mean I believe in the opposite? And the answer is yes, I do. I do believe in the devil, so to speak. I do believe in an embodiment of all of the darkness in this world. Now, another thing I want to address is that many people in the spiritual community talk about how nothing inherently has any meaning. Now, I've even subscribed to this belief before, and this belief is technically logical because as we're moving through the world and we see different things, our brain does attach meaning to different things. So when we look at something, our brain is going to determine for us whether that thing is good or bad, right? And so this is kind of this idea that nothing is inherently good or evil. Now, so this belief does seem quite logical, but the problem is, if you're somebody who subscribes to that belief and you actually live that way, not seeing good and evil, you are the most dangerous person on this planet. Because if you do not see good and evil, you don't see right and wrong. And if you don't see right and wrong, there is nothing you won't do. Okay? So this idea may be logical, but it's incredibly dangerous. If you want to live in this world in a, as a decent person who doesn't do terrible things, you have to see good and evil. And as I said, we live in a world of opposites. We do live in a world of good and evil. There are things in this world that you can't call anything less than evil. And so for me, the way I determine what is right and wrong and what is good and evil is my intuition and my conscience. And what I believe those two things are is the voice of God. That's what I believe the conscience and the intuition are. Because this is how I feel God talks to us. So because I have an extremely strong intuition, there have been people that I have known were bad before I knew anything about them. And obviously I didn't voice this because I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to badmouth someone to somebody else because I've had a feeling about them. I do keep it to myself. But there have been so many times, countless amount of times, where I've literally just walked past someone, just met someone in passing, and just instantly known they are a bad person. And every single time it has been confirmed to me that they are a bad person. They've done terrible things, okay? Now, I fully believe this was the voice of God telling me that person is not of me. That person is not of good. That person is not of the light. And I'm warning you that that person is not of me. And that's what the conscience and the intuition do for us. They tell us what's wrong. They tell us what not to do. Because that's the voice of God telling you, this is not of me. This is not of the light. This is of the darkness. This is of the other side of the spectrum. And we have free will. We can choose. You get that feeling within you and, you can choose to go there or not go there. But this is very close to my heart because I've actually been saved by my intuition multiple times. And as I said, I fully believe, I know for myself that this is the voice of God because, I'll tell you a story about back when I was 16. I was walking home late at night from a friend's house. It was about 11 o'clock and this was just a small, quiet town in England where nothing ever really happened. So kind of a naive mindset, but that's what I was thinking back then. And so it was 11 at night, pitch black, no one else on the streets but me. I had headphones in, really stupid, I know, loud music playing. There was no one on the roads, nobody around. And I suddenly, this massively strong feeling hit me. It hit my entire being, my mind, my soul, my body. I felt it everywhere. It was so powerful, I actually stopped walking. I just suddenly stopped because it was that strong. And it was just like an instant knowing. I instantly knew I'm about to be attacked and I have to take my headphones off because if I don't take my headphones off, I'm not going to be able to hear anything and it's going to make me a lot more vulnerable. And I just knew this in that instant. I knew it all throughout my body and all throughout my mind. I just knew. So I took my headphones out, I walked around the corner and a man tried to attack me. And the only reason I was able to escape him was because I heard him coming towards me because I didn't have my headphones in. If I'd have had my headphones in, I would have been in trouble. And I knew from that day on, my intuition is the voice of God protecting me. And I knew that from that day on, and I have never ignored my intuition from that day on. And every time I've listened to my intuition since then, it has never been wrong. It has told me so many times that particular people are bad. And I had no knowledge of these people, no understanding of who they were or what they did. And yet I had this feeling, this intuition that told me they were bad. And every single time it has been confirmed to me. Okay, so that is why I've come to know my intuition as the voice of God. So yeah, I think I've covered everything. So as I said, this is a subject that's so close to my heart. I really, really do recommend you really find that connection with God. One more thing I wanted to say is that when it comes to the Bible, because obviously I've mentioned the Bible, I do not subscribe to everything in the Bible, because obviously you probably know there are many things in the Bible that really seem like they aren't of God, and I do believe that the Bible has actually been changed thousands of times. You can look this up online. The Bible has literally been changed thousands of times. So to me, that indicates even more that the Bible is truth mixed in with lies. And I fully believe this. This is like most things in society, because most of what's in our society is an illusion to deceive us. And the best way to deceive someone is to mix truth with lies. And the Bible is no different. There is amazing stuff in the Bible, and I would urge you to read it, but read it with intuition. Read it with the voice of God with you. Discern what you feel is of God and what isn't, because there is a lot in there that I truly feel is not of God. As you probably know, the Bible has been used to suppress women for hundreds of years, and I don't subscribe to any of that. I don't believe that's of God. I believe that's been used so that men can take women's power away. There is a lot in the Bible that tells women they need to submit to men. I will never accept that. I don't believe that's of God. I don't believe in that. So I just wanted to get that out there, so you don't think I'm one of those people who really does just agree with everything that's in the Bible, because I don't. I believe in reading it with discernment, and I think if you do that, you will get some serious good from that book, because, if you look at Revelations is describing the stuff that's actually happening today in our society, and it's quite frightening, but very enlightening too. So that's definitely everything. I really hope this has answered your question. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.